Chat, we go. It's Diaz versus Evoh in the losers finals of the Cash Cup for North America. Wavy awaits in the grand final. If Evoh gets there, it'll be a rematch. If Diaz gets there, it'll be a new matchup that we haven't seen yet in this Cash Cup. But it's looking like these are your top 4 contenders. You know, Daniel probably thrown in there as well if he does decide to play for 1v1 RLCS. Maybe Chronic and Beast Mode, the other two that I can think of that did not play, that are probably worth considering as well. Diaz stealing some midfield boost and sending one to the net. Fear's not ready for the LJ. Do you guys think LJ will be playing in 1v1? RLCS 1v1? Diaz right now off to an early start. These games get going quickly. Evoh, great placements on the flick. Sure, it's crossbar, but it's down and easy to follow up. Evoh does not play on keyboard. These guys are all controller players. Most of everybody's a controller player. If you're not sure who is or isn't, it's a good idea to just assume they're a controller player until told otherwise. Diaz, how does he stay with his wits about him while falling underneath the ball and having his perspective thrown off like that? Is it because he's good at the game? Me? That could never be me. DSC 1439 plays through Neuralink because clearly no limbs are available to play. Diaz, great chance here to score. Goes for a catch and flick instead of sort of a hook shot. I feel like hook shot might have just been a better version of what he ended up doing. Costs less boost, less momentum, less space. Has a bit more power and would force maybe a tougher save, but maybe it also would have sent it across the net and Evoh would have escaped quicker. But either way, it's going to be 2-2. Evoh out of his own back corner will make it 3-2. A poll in the chat says, if Diaz wins, where's this a win for? Brazil or I don't know, EU, the French somehow? That was number 2. Then USA, then Canada. I think his only connection to Canada is he has the Canadian banner right now. But I think it's pretty obviously Brazil. Especially because he did all this work from Brazil on 90 ping or so. So he was doing all of this top level 1v1 gameplay while playing from Sam. So it's not even questionable. It'd be one thing if like a player moved to a certain region and then dominated because of the improvement they were able to get at that region, but Diaz was already ahead and then just so happened to come to North America afterwards. 5-2 from Evoh though. It's funny, we got so quickly in this game, I'm kind of like, well, Diaz is winning. He's winning in this series because the previous one we just watched, but that's not true. This is completely fresh. Game number 1. Evoh starting off strong. Can Diaz get this to the net? He should be able to, and he will. Why are they using the same car design? A lot of pros will use similar, if not exactly the same car designs, because they just become meta. People like them. They're popular. They find out the exact design from other people, and they both make them. They both feel like this is the best Octane right now. $53 seconds left to go for Diaz. Otherwise, he's going to go down early here in this series. Resets. Cleaned up. Evoh's been playing so well. I know I said earlier it was kind of almost reverse order from where we expected them before. Not fully reverse, as I think a lot of people would have had Diaz, then First Killer, then Evoh, and then Wavy if they had to order them. And right now, it's shaking out almost completely reverse, except Diaz has still been able to beat First Killer. Although, to be fair, after First Killer beat Diaz in my crew battle, I'm sure a lot of people will even have First Killer ahead. So it might be a complete reversal of the top 4 if it all shakes out that way. Diaz might get one more goal, but it won't matter. Game number 1 goes to Evoh. 5-4. Game number 2. Diaz and Evoh. Evoh bump, got it. This is not your conventional eligible bump, as he has to go pretty far off the trajectory to connect it, but he does read the angle that Diaz has to the ball and has himself a 1-0 lead. Raid me when you're done. First time chatter. Okay, sounds good. It was that simple. All they had to do was ask. They just never did. Guys, get it twisted. The way to become a big streamer is to go to all the streams you can and type raid me when you're done. That's how I did it. That's how everyone did it before me. And it's how everyone will do it in the future. There really is no other way. Evoh. Wave dash. Puts an easy one on target. Diaz reads it. Trying to go back the other way as these two guys trade lofty air dribbles. Will Diaz continue the trend with the ball in near ceiling heights? Fakes the wave dash catch. Again, it's just kind of mind games. And these two guys showing off their level of control as they slowly work it down the field. Air dribble bump. Diaz dodges it and makes a save. 1-0 game. Minute 30 off the clock now. This is what we talked about in terms of the win condition for Evoh before. It felt like low-scoring games where he's able to sneak out the edge are what works for him. If it goes to a ton of goals, seems to end up favoring Diaz. Evoh has to clear it, buy himself more time and a chance to get boost. He's going to switch the field completely and go to the opposite corner. Might have a tough time getting back to make a save, but he does not. He does get the first. Can't get the... Oh, wow. I almost said it too soon. But it is true. He can't get the second. Diaz flick over the top of an Evoh diving in. And he'll make it 3-1. Had to reverse back up to control that. Maybe Evoh felt like, because it was a bit awkward, that he was going to be able to get there and take it away in time. Diaz tried to go for a fake here. It worked! A double fake! I guess it just works out as probably just a single fake, but either way, Evoh tries to recover in, gets faked by that setup, and then tried to backflip. He just missed his backflip. He wanted a certain diagonal that would actually take him to the ball. Instead, 4-1 lead for Diaz. When Evoh won last time against Diaz, his losses were early forfeits. Feels like if he can't keep the game looking like how he wants to, then it gets out of his hands. What a recovery from Evoh. Snags a demo and gets a second goal. We got to watch this again. The save and recovery. Oh, what the heck? He like... I'd have to go back. What was I looking at? How did they have a flip? Wait, let me think about this for a second. I guess he just jumped, right? He just wave dash down and single jumps. He still had a flip. Okay. It wasn't as crazy as my brain registered it, but... Backflip from Diaz. Wow, look at the power. This is not a position that necessarily should be a goal. I mean, Evoh is on the side wall, but just so much power out of the backflip. Octane does seem to be much more popular over here in North America. It's the Fennec takeover in EU MENA for sure. We're getting into Evoh forfeit territory. Although I wouldn't think he's going to stick it out here. Evoh doesn't like playing while down for too long. And I think one more goal could potentially do it. Or, you know, this is why you don't forfeit, just to be clear. Because you might just bang a kickoff goal directly in. I'm just trying to pre-jump Evoh's mindset. And now another kickoff top right, and just like that. This is why you should have forfeit. But like I said, just going off patterns I've seen. Although Diaz is gonna get it right back, and this is why you should forfeit. I can do this forever. And like I said, this is why you should forfeit. Oh my goodness. I'm skipping the replays, by the way. People in chat saying skip the replays. This is Diaz watching the replay back. Not me. There was a time in which the direct kickoff goals really kind of just got erased. Great downward shot here from Evoh, coming off the ceiling. But they do seem to be back in strong form here today. Not just kickoff possessions won, but just straight to the net kickoffs off the side wall. Diaz, great read. There it is. Evoh's had enough. Game number 3. Evoh into the Fennec for game 3. Diaz is literally using the Evoh strat of not skipping replays until it shows the other person missing. Yeah, so Evoh known to be ever so slightly toxic. Although I have to admit, I've done this at least on accident a couple times, and you probably have in chat as well. Evoh would be known to never skip the replay until his teammate's mistake, and then skip it only after that to force his teammate to watch it, which is insane work, of course. But I think I do it on accident sometimes where I'm like, what happened there? And then I watch it back and I'm like, oh, teammate whiffed. And then I skip. But I swear I'm not doing it out of toxicity. And maybe Evoh wasn't either, you know? Maybe give Evoh a break. He's just confused at what's going on the field and needs to see it again. But someone's trying to argue that that's what Diaz has been doing to him watching the replays here in these 1v1 games to show the Evoh mistake and only then skip the replay. Great save from Evoh. Continuing his trend of playing well after a forfeit. Evoh's got no boost to work with now. Can he escape off pads? His defense has been impressive. Combined that full sentence into one with a little defense. But he likes to try and dive. It does not work out. We start to mix together words a bit when it gets a little bit too deep into the 9 hours of stream during the day. Diaz into the back corner. What are we going to see? Usually it's cinema. He is going to dance with the ceiling across the whole field. But Evoh makes another save. Let's do it again. Run it back. One more time. No, Evoh's had enough. He's had enough of these full field dribbles. He's going to go challenge early. You know what that's going to result in? A half field dribble instead. Diaz from the right side wall. Not going for a bump. It kind of felt like a situation where a bump might have worked. Diaz electing to just arrow roll through and did not pick up the 100. That certainly has to be a mistake. He will get 100 in the back corner, but he allows Evoh to reload as well as he flips through. Evoh now trying to settle the ball on top of his car. He's going to double jump it instead. Gets a bump and converts. 3-1 for the Evoh lead. Thunderbats, thank you for the 6 months of Prime. Much appreciated. Can Evoh get the angle? He did have the angle. Forced to save out of Diaz, who can create an air dribble towards the net with whatever sort of setup you want. That one was not an easy one. Diaz makes it seem that way. Diaz double jump bump. Evoh over the top of it. Ball floating almost straight down. Follow-up save is there. Evoh not around any pads or any hundreds, so he's got to play off very little. Finally gets himself a pad or two. This 50's off the post. Side flipped in case Diaz shot, but Diaz is thinking about a future attack. Oh, almost another save from Evoh. But Diaz does eventually break him down. Diaz up in the air, quickly pre-jumped and has the ball taken away. And now Evoh gets to look at a wide open net. Evoh booming first touch. I don't know if he was expecting Diaz to chase him down. Gonna grab a demo and get himself a goal. So it ends up working out to just put pressure on the back wall of Diaz. Diaz forced to kind of make it clear. Pop himself in the air, and the fact that Evoh chased it down means he's around to get a demo on the landing. Did not grab his own back corner boost though. So Diaz is right to immediately pop the ball and pressure the net. Do not let Evoh get a chance to swing out and pick anything up, and you're very likely to score eventually. This time it only takes a couple chances. Now he's within 2. Delay kickoff intentionally by Evoh. Is he going to pay off? The ball goes directly in front of his net, but it's not an immediate goal. And he does clear this one out. He's trying to decide. Interesting play. The little mind games back and forth. Evoh will get a midfield 100. But Diaz tried to make it seem like he's going to go steal Evoh's 100 if that's where he went. Diaz needs a possession. Evoh might have gotten ahead of himself. Great catch touch from Diaz, now into an air dribble bump. Evoh is over the top of it. He is having premonitions on when these air dribble bumps are coming, and he's getting up long before there's a chance to bump him. And doing so might have just secured this game. Clear to the other corner. Evoh gonna go up 2-1. Trying to go out in style here across the length of the field, and he will not go out in style. It will land short. Game number 3 goes to Evoh. Game number 4. Diaz playing from behind here against Evoh. Evoh's trying to get the rematch against Wavy in the winners finals. That series was good, but Wavy had the edge ultimately. How will it work out second time around? The switch to the Fennec works out for Evoh in game number 3. Now Diaz is just pulling that camera down on the back wall as he looks for a bump. Wants to try and see if he can clear Evoh out. Here's another one of those Diaz dribbles, which start out towards the left corner and finish in the top right, but missed just a bit too high. Evoh forcing the issue. Credit to him. The defensive work he's done against Diaz, matched by few, as I mentioned earlier. First killer, one of those guys who has done a decent job, but even he was eventually bested. Evoh waved that shot, pinned, and not only that, Evoh does not save it into the corner, which means he gets the follow-up touch and clears it and ends the possession, at least momentarily. Problem is, Diaz has no issue playing with a full tank of boost off his back wall. Evoh will make another save, though. The defense from him will be rewarded. 2-0 for Evoh. A couple great saves. Deserving of a counterattack. He will get one eventually. Diaz does not pick up the 100. So Evoh gets to have it. And he will go wave dash on the landing after getting the reset. 3-0 for Evoh. Slight mistakes. You will not get away with them here in these lobbies. Fake by Diaz, but he couldn't cut it in front of the net in time. And Evoh just seems to have those reads, even when he does get beat by fakes like that, or seems to miss. It's almost like he covered the net perfectly, because the only way to get him to miss is to miss yourself. Nice play by Diaz. And he helps, or uses the back wall to help this time, playing from way too far behind the play. Diaz keeps it high, goes for the double. Who's Zapper? What about Ace Zapatos? Do you know that guy? Diaz passed to himself off the back wall. Felt Evoh was in too deep. He was trying to keep up above, but instead he went under. Evoh, nice placements. They don't get it, but you did. And that's what matters to me. I just needed one recognition from someone who got it, and that was good enough. Diaz waiting out the ball as it bounces to the side wall so he can get a good setup here, and he faked Evoh out. 4-3. Still in favor of Evoh as he's trying to close it out here without a game 5. I believe these guys went game 5 last time. Most of the series we've watched have gone that way. It has been quite the cinema day in the Cash Cup. As Evoh wants a bump, Diaz gets around it. Now, again, look at this. I mean, this is what Diaz does so well. Evoh does a lot of camera work as well. I've always regarded him as one of the top players when it comes to camera work. Nice save. First touch save. It was still headed in. He had to get back and get the follow-up, which he did. But Diaz seems to find himself in situations where the ball is floating and needs to watch the other player a lot. Does a good job of pinning his camera on them without taking off ball cam. 5-3 now as Evoh puts back some cushion on his lead. I don't know how many more times I can watch a player with peak ability get called lucky in the chat, but I think I'm cursed to it forever. Evoh landing on the crossbar and dashing back down. Diaz playing on the ground. He's still just trying to beat Evoh some way. This time looking for the chip bounce to get Evoh to miss on his dive challenge, but Evoh still connects. Diaz will go back to his familiar place, the air, and Evoh has the read. Knew exactly where it was headed, makes the save, grabs the boost, forces Diaz to waste more time. Now Diaz doesn't mind playing from here, but he's not in a position where he can get away with it. He needs to be scoring right now. Diaz does just to go ring around the rosy. He rolls through. Finally, he does it. And this is the level of peak you need to hit to get it past Evoh. Instead of going for a reset shot, he just rolls through to get extra power. And Evoh still almost got the touch, despite the fact that Evoh has been prepping for resets all day. 27 seconds. Big kickoff win for Diaz. Here's his opportunity to tie it up, keep himself alive in this tournament. Evoh, another save. Diaz, still a solid chance. Aggressive Evoh on defense pays off with another decent 50-20 boost. Did he get this chipped over the top of him? He did. Diaz is looking at a wide open net. Evoh wanted to chase him down, wanted to stay involved, but got a little too involved. Didn't know what to do there. I mean, we saw him diving on those previously, but he didn't feel like he had the strength to dive this time. 5-5. Delay kickoff. Heavy delay. Right back into Diaz, so it doesn't pay off as much as he would have liked it to. And it is going to be OT. Will not do the delay twice, I don't think. Especially on this diagonal. Evoh wins the kickoff, though. Diaz. Ooh, try to go early. Maybe I was wrong about that. Evoh thought he won it, but Diaz will take it to game 5 for maximum cinema. Evoh didn't have the best angle. I didn't have it either, watch it from his POV. But you watch it from Diaz, and it was clear from the beginning. He's sending it to game 5.